Hello and welcome to another episode of Wednesdays with WV. In this episode, I'm going to be talking to one who's been a part of the World Cup triumphs, both in the 2007 and in the 2011, and he's been a regular part of different sides in the IPL, and is obviously a leading performer for UP and Central Zone. I'm sure you would have guessed by now that it is none other than Piyush Chawla, and it's my pleasure to present to you Piyush Chawla. Hi Piyush, how are you? All well? Good to see you. Long time.
Very well, sir. Thank you. Good to see you as well. It's been quite a few months now, but good to see you at least virtually.
Yeah, it is. And let's go back in time just to get a bit of a sense into how it all started for you. Whatever made you take up leg spin? Because leg spin is a difficult art.
So, well, I played junior cricket as a batter, with as a part-time leg spinner and a main batter. And then eventually, my sir, Mr. KK Gautam, he saw me, bowling in the nets, and then he asked me to, switch full time into leg spin and become like a lower middle order batter. So that's how it started because he was the one who told me that if you bowl with this action, this is normal for everyone, but this is like very unnatural, unorthodox, and it's like God given. So you just work on it then. So that's how I started bowling leg spin.
You played obviously your junior cricket, or you started practicing your craft in UP, to be precise, Moradabad. What kind of infrastructure you had there? What kind of environment you grew in?
So, well, if you ask me honestly, there was just a cement wicket. So there I used to practice. And for matches, there was matting. So I've played a lot of my cricket on matting. And there was one stadium where we had the turf wicket, which we hardly used to get to practice. So mostly on cement or on matting. So that's how it used to be. But here it is. And if you talk about leg spin, so when I was bowling on cement wicket, so it wasn't easy to spin the ball on cement. So I tried really hard to spin that. So my leg spin still, everyone says it doesn't turn much, but my googly developed big time because when I used to bowl a wrong one on a cement, it used to turn big. So I started bowling more of googlies.
It helped you when you played for Mohali much later in the IPL. We'll get to all that later. Success came rather a bit easily, isn't it, in the under 19 days? Leg spin by itself is difficult to play, but when you have opportunities to play against England, Australia, it can be a little bit easy.
It is indeed because at that time, when I played junior cricket under 19 India and World Cup and Asia Cup of under 19, so it was not exactly very easy, but yeah, compared to other nations and compared to bowling in our domestic cricket, because if you see our domestic cricket, even the number 11 batter bats against a spinner like a proper batter. But when you go and play against, in junior cricket against Australia, England, so it was little easier because at that time they were not picking it up from the hand. So I ended up getting a lot of wickets in junior cricket, and that's how it all started then.
Let's fast forward to a little bit ahead. 2005-6 season must have been a very special season in your career.
Definitely, because I was playing under 19, and from there I got a call to play challengers. So I went to play on the challengers, and at that time, challengers was like one of the biggest domestic tournament because everyone like Sachin Paji, Rahul Bhai, Lakshman Bhai, everyone used to play that, and so I was selected for India B, and then we were playing at Mohali only. When in the finals, I came to bowl against India seniors, and when Sachin Paji was batting. So, first of all, you know what happened when I saw him live, first time ever in my life. So, I was in a awe that, watching him live was like a dream come true. And then obviously, he was played against him that game and got wicket of him. Like, I was fortunate enough to get his wicket. So, that really turned things.
And you also scalped Yuvraj Singh and MS Dhoni. Those were big wickets, obviously.
See, honestly speaking, when I was playing that game, I was barely 15-year-old, and at that time you just know one thing: come and bowl, nothing else. No planning, nothing. You don't know anything about all these things. So yeah, in that particular game when I got Sachin Paji out, so UV Bhai came in, I got UV Bhai, and then my Bhai tried to hit a big one and he got stumped. So that was like for me first or second, I think second list A game, because before that I had not played Ranji Trophy, nothing. So second list A game, getting these three big wickets, that too on that stage of Challenger Trophy. So that was something I cherished throughout, and it's been almost 20 years and people still talk about it.
Very soon after that, you got a national call up for the Test series, isn't it?
Yeah. After that, I played Ranji Trophy the full season, and that was the year when UP won Ranji Trophy for the first time, and we still have, like, UP still has just one Ranji Trophy title to its name. So that was something special because Ranji Trophy is a tough tournament, and playing that, and we had a very young team. So myself, Praveen Kumar, Rana Bhai was like hardly 2 seasons old. So we had a really good batch of young players and some experience like Mr. Gyanendra Pandey, Rizwan Shamshad, Ashish Vispanjayadi. Kev Bhai also came in after like few games. So we had a pretty balanced and decent side, and ended up winning Ranji Trophy in the first season itself. Was a big booster for all of us, and especially for somebody like me who was playing first time Ranji Trophy. I got 35 odd wickets in 7 games. So I had like a dream season.
But still, you had to wait for a call up in the white ball format, isn't it? It didn't come immediately on the back of Test call.
Yeah, because I played Test. I just played like one game, and then after that, I went back to domestic cricket, played lot of India A games, and had a decent run out there as well. And in 2007, when unfortunately team didn't make it to the next stage of World Cup. So after that World Cup, I got my call.
Being a part of the 2007 World Cup squad must have been, exhilarating, exciting, because nobody knew what T20 cricket was all about then.
Yeah, we were very new in that T20 cricket format, and we were playing NatWest in England, and from there we flew down to South Africa to play. So being a part of that squad was really, amazing. And unfortunately, I got injured on that tour where UVY hit six sixes. So I couldn't take part in the tournament because of that injury. But yeah, I was with the team throughout the season and throughout the World Cup, and being a part of the dressing room was something which I will cherish throughout my life.
And then came the IPL. Where do you end up? Mohali, something similar to the cement tracks that you practiced when you were young. And in fact, you had a long association with the Kings 11, didn't you? And you did reasonably well, not reasonably, really well for a leg spinner.
Yeah, when I came to Mohali, so first game when I played in IPL cricket, so I remember Mike Hussey got 100. We played against CSK, and I ended up giving somewhere around 1 over for 20 runs. Then next game we went to play to Jaipur, and there I got few runs with the bat, quick fire, some 24 with of 10 12 balls. But again in the bowling, I went for 2 overs, 30 odd runs. So I came back to my room. I was thinking, I think this 2020 cricket I can't play. This is like not my area of, specialization, because it's you need good fast bowlers and a legs on like quality finger spinners. But luckily that game was against Rajasthan, and I got the opportunity to meet late great Shane Warne, and I had a chat with him for like good 30-40 minutes about bowling and everything. So he just told me few things like you just bowl, because what happens generally when you go to T20 cricket and one day cricket, you try to experiment too many things rather than keeping it simple. So he told me not to think too much. Just think about you the way you bowl in a test cricket or a one day cricket, because a good ball is a good ball any which way. So I came back again to Mohali. We had a game against Mumbai. So I had a, and I felt from inside, because you get those vibes that if I don't get wickets or I don't do well in this game, so could be my last game of IPL. So I had a decent run in that game. I bowled 4 overs for some 16, 18 runs and picked up 2 wickets. Then after that, things changed and ended up getting like finished some 17 wickets in that particular season. So overall, as you mentioned, I played on cement cricket. So when I came to Mohali, so that really helped because it was nothing less than that.
Yeah, amidst all this that was happening, you were making progress in your career. You were learning the tricks of the trade. You were sought after in white ball cricket. Your test cricket didn't somehow flourish. Was there any particular reason for this?
Well, I have no idea about that, and I never think about that as well, to be very honest.
But again, come the 2011 World Cup, you are a part of the squad, and that must have been once again a momentous period in your life. You are a part of the 2007 World Cup, which won the inaugural edition of the T20 World Cup, and there were a lot of expectations as well, wasn't it, in 2011?
Yeah, there were a lot of pressure because we were playing at home, and the expectation of so many people, expectations from family, expectations from ourselves. So there were pressure, but at the same time, we had that thing back of my mind that we are playing at home. We know the conditions, and the way we started the World Cup campaigning right from the warm up game, because that was also the part of the World Cup, and you need to win good games to become like to get that confidence high. So we started against Australia, we did well in that game, and then after that we moved to our first game. There also we did well, we won the game. So it was overall a very good experience in World Cup, and the pressure was there, but there was like very good hard work, too much hard work behind that. And the way everyone played, like there were all those greats were there, and the way they performed, it was really amazing.
The 2011 World Cup side was a very good side because it had a lot of experience, hardened pros over a long period of time. And then the youngsters were a part of the side, had overcome the pressure situation in the 2007 World Cup. So it really made it into a very good combination in every which way.
Definitely, we had a brilliant combination. We had, all the greats like Sachin Paji, Viru Bhai, Gauti Bhai, then UV Paji, Bhajju Ba, Zach Bhai. And then if you come to the youngster side, like Mai Bhai was there because he led the team so well in 2007 World Cup, and he had experience of leading the side. And then CB series in Australia. So, and if you talk about all youngsters like Suresh Raina, Virat, myself, Ashwin. So we had a really good side and a very skillful side at that time.
Now, tell me about the madness that happened after you guys won.
Well, there are, I think there are no words to explain that, because that was something, a player, when you grow up, you want to play the World Cup, you want to win the World Cup. And I was very fortunate that it came for me at the age of 22. So it's my second World Cup medal. So I don't have words to explain that kind of a feeling it was.
Immediately or no, a year or two later after the World Cup triumph, you moved over to KKR, and it must have been really a happy thing for you because the pitches at the Eden were spinner friendly in a way.
Well, that year, the IPL moved to Dubai, so we had a decent, good wickets there. And then we came back to KKR setup in 2015, and you remember, like, the wickets have become flat there also. So I was really happy that I moved to KKR. I'll get spinning wicket, but when I came back to Eden, so I felt I was better off bowling at Mohali because at least the ground was big there. The wicket became same, literally like Mohali there.
Now, regardless of the conditions, one great development that has happened in cricket is the importance or the necessity that captains feel to have a leg spinner in the white ball format. That's fantastic, isn't it, for the game?
Definitely, because see, over the period, we have realized that everyone is going for runs. no matter it's a fast bowler or a finger spinner or any sort of bowler. But the value of that bowler goes up who picks up wicket for you. Because if you want to stop any batting lineup or you want to contain also, you need to pick up wickets. And leg spin is the best option to get those wickets. And you, if you have a good captain for a leg spinner, so that leg spinner becomes really handy, and bowling at the right stage and picking up wickets for the team, and that really makes a huge difference.
Talking of good captains, you have played under arguably the best IPL captains, Dhoni, Gambhir, and Rohit Sharma. Now, what, according to you, was their quality, each of them? Just a quick insight into that.
Well, three of them are very different captains, and the quality of best captain is one common thing. They leave everything on you and say, you take the charge as a bowler, you implement your plan A. If that doesn't work, then the captain comes into the play, and then he says, okay, now you bowl according to me and let me handle that situation. So all of them are like that. First choice is given to you as a bowler, that you go, you bowl, you do your free, you have been given a free hand, you do whatever you want. And then if that doesn't work out, then they come into the picture. So that's the quality of these three.
You captained yourself, you captained your state side. Now, when a bowler captains his side, there's always this feeling that he could either over bowl or under bowl himself. Did you find that a challenging thing while you are the captain of the side?
Well, when I was leading UP, so most of the time we ended up playing on like good seaming wickets most of the time. So I'll never say like under bowl, but sometimes yes, it did happen. Like given a chance to somebody else, and you get like if likes of Kuldeep Yadav was there, so I make sure that he's also bowling a lot of overs, because I really like the skills and I used to enjoy him also watching, bowling.
Now, talking of wrist spinners, the current Indian side does not have a right arm wrist spinner in the squad for the World Cup. Do you think that's a trick that selectors have missed?
Well, honestly speaking, I don't think so, because one wrist spinner is good enough, and Kuldeep is somebody who can take ball the both ways. He can, make sure if the ball comes in, the ball goes out. So I think, unfortunately, we can only select 15. And looking at the team combination, you need to get the right setup. So I think that was the right call.
And what is this about the talk that there's no left-hander at the top of the order? We may not really have the benefit that we had in the 2011 World Cup. Is there any merit to that particular line of thought?
Well, definitely love to have one left-hander at the top. But looking at the current team, you have the best guys in the business. Like Shubman is in the form of his life, and then Rohit. We all know when the big tournament comes, he starts getting those big runs. He did really well in Asia Cup, because as for the openers, you need good start. And like Shubman and Rohit, the way they have given the start, they're doing a wonderful job. And then coming into the middle order, now Ishan is batting in middle order, so that really makes a difference, because he's somebody who can take on the spinners. And in Asia Cup, he batted beautifully, because the wickets were not that easy. I was there commentating, so I saw it wasn't that easy to play there, especially against the spinners. But the way he batted, he showed a lot of you know class and temperament there.
There's still a lot of suspense in the air with regard to one slot, with Akshar Patel's fitness not known. Now, if you were to be asked to give your view, either or view, will it be Ashwin or will it be Washington Sundar?
Well, if Akshar is not fit, so I'll go with Ashwin, because the purely reason because of his bowling skills. Washington Sundar has done well, but if you just see the bowling, it's Ashwin, because he's way ahead in his thinking, and we all know what can he do with the ball. Because the number which Washington Sundar will come into bat, Ashwin can give you the same amount of runs as well.
So you would tend to go for experience and also for the skill sets that Ashwin has as a bowler, primarily, is what you're saying. Okay, spinners.
The-
Yes, we've spoken enough about the spinners. Now, The fast bowlers seem to be in good form for Team India. How much of an impact do you think they'll make in this World Cup?
Definitely a big impact because the best part about the fast bowling unit is if you talk about Jasprit Bumrah, Siraj, and Mohammad Shami, they all are wicket takers, and that's what you need from the bowlers. Because nowadays the cricket has become so fast, as I mentioned earlier. Also, if you want to stop the runs of flow of the runs, you have to get the wickets, and these three are capable of picking up wickets. We have seen in the last game against Australia the way Mohammad Shami has bowled on a flat wicket where the batting was really easy. He made bowling look easy on that wicket and ended up getting 5 wickets. So I think the fast bowling unit looks absolutely brilliant.
Now, I want Pandit Chawla's answer here. Do we do enough to help and motivate multi-dimensional cricketers enough to become match-winning all-rounders? Do we support them? Do we motivate them enough?
100% we do that because I've seen over the period like the importance, the kind of importance has given to them, to the all rounders. And looking at the team right now, you have Hardik Pandya who can bat as good as a batter and who can give you like good 6 7 overs. Then if we talk about Jadeja, he'll give you those good 10 overs. And Shardul now is come into the picture, but Shardul still has to work a lot on few things. But we have given that importance, and importance for me is like giving them the longer run, and that's what is happening here. So, which is really good to see.
The all-round options that Australian side has, how much will it help them in their campaign?
Definitely, it's always good to have all rounders in the squad because as a captain, you always have options of bowling. Because batting, if you have good proper five batters and like two all rounders who can bat as well as like a batter, so as a captain you are sorted because you have those 6 7 bowling options then. So if you talk about Australia, they have all rounders who can bowl, who can like somebody like Glenn Maxwell can give you good 6 7 overs, and then they have Mitchell Marsh, who's who's been in sublime form, who has batted beautifully in South Africa, and he has experience also of playing in India when he played IPL, and he can give you like good 3 4 4 5 overs. So they have a good side, balanced side. So it makes a difference then.
What do you make of the England team and what do you think of their prospects?
Well, they are playing a different cricket at the moment because their funda is very clear to go after the bowling. So they backed themselves and they ended up getting big scores. So overall, again, if you say their squad looks quite brilliant and quite balanced as well.
If at all, do you think there is one element that is lacking in this Indian team? What do you think it is?
Well, if you talk about the Asia Cup, because you'll see the recent form, so team looks brilliant. So I won't say there is anything lacking at the moment. It just have to, the Indian team just has to go there and play their best cricket, and the home advantage is always there. The home support is always there. So which does make a difference.
One tip, as somebody who's gone through this, who's experienced this, one tip for the team members on handling pressure when you play at home.
I think it's just very important to follow the process because if you just follow the process, everything will take care of that thing itself.
And also, post this World Cup, do you foresee a lot of changes happening in the makeup of the Indian team?
Well, totally depends how the World Cup goes.
Now, let's assume that they go on to win. Do you still maintain the same view, or would you go for uh, younger cricketers to build for the next cycle, or how is it likely to be?
Well, definitely 4 years is a long time. After this World Cup, there will be 4 years, and there are a lot of young players who are coming up. Shubman Gill, obviously, he's already there. Then Ishan is there. Tilak Verma is a brilliant talent. So there are a lot of players who will get in, quite a few series here and there, and they'll try and build up the squad for the next 3 4 years, and then they make sure they are ready for the World Cup.
quickly decode the leg spinners like Zampa, Rashid Khan, and the likes?
Well, we have seen in the last game the way Zampa bowled. He bowled brilliantly because, knowing the conditions, and there was some bit of dew as well. But the way he bowled, so Zampa is definitely somebody to look out for in this World Cup. And Rashid, we all know he has done uh, great in white ball cricket. So he'll definitely come into the party. And there are few grounds where Afghanistan are playing, which gonna really support the spinners there. So I think these two, somebody who's gonna be challenging for the other teams.
Finally, a quick word to the youngsters who practice leg spin. What is it that they need to do?
Well, the most important thing what I feel is bowl, bowl, and bowl and bowl a lot, because nowadays I've seen um, somebody comes, they bowl, and then they take like 2 days break. For me, I think the most important thing is you make sure you're bowling 80 to 100 balls a day in at least 5 times a week.
And do they also need to bat a little bit in the nets?
100%, 100%. It becomes really important. I know
Oh,
where
at
it's
last you
going.
agree. No, it's not going anywhere. It's just the question that I posed to you because some bowlers get so immersed in their bowling they don't bat in the nets even if they're good enough batters.
I know. Mm, they have to have skill and hand-eye coordination like me, else they have to bat.
Okay, thank you, PC, and very nice of you to
Thank you,
spare the
sir.
time and had with us. It was great having you on this show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Take care.
That was Piyush Chawla, who has now become a pundit and he's also become a commentator too. And we saw him reveal what happened during those World Cup triumphs. I'm sure that you would have enjoyed the conversation. And I always would like to remind you that all the earlier episodes are available on the Sports Star handle on the YouTube. Please have a look for those who have not had a look when we did it. And for those who've been with us all through, I would like you to give us your feedback, which is very crucial to us in putting out some fantastic stuff. And until I catch up with you next time, be good and stay safe.